All right, I joked about starting this one with the curse word because this one's gonna hurt. This one is gonna hurt. This might be the most painful one yet. We're doing it. Rubber Soul, track versus track, Revolver. This is the Beatles sweet spot for me, Matt. Yeah, I got nothing. This every song is pretty great. So even when when you say a track and I do this, it's gonna be a great song. I'm just like I don't know, and I haven't looked at the track listings. You probably have them memorized, but yeah, that's it. That's a you thing.
However, I have not in my brain made any decisions. There's some that are so ridiculously close that it could change. You know, if I had done this yesterday, it may be different today. So off the top, you know, like I would think Rubber Soul's going to win because it's my favorite Beatles album. But.
Yeah, and when you ask which one, yeah, I deferred to Revolver, but I haven't actually compared them. I've been listening to them in a playlist on shuffle for the last few days, so that's where we're at. Revolver track number 1 is Taxman. One of the better George songs, and we're a little harsh on George sometimes. What's it up against on Rubber Soul? Remind me.
Paul track, Drive My Car, which is not on the US version of Rubber Soul, but it opens up the UK version.
Now, if it was the Capitol version, be an easy call for me because I love I've Just Seen a Face. Taxman is not a song I love, and we've made fun of Drive My Car before, too, calling it kind of like the song you love when you're a kid. Mm-hmm. Taxman has always bugged me. I get it's a single. It's when I talk about old man Republican George, I think about Taxman complaining about being rich. Like it bugs me. I am gonna go with Drive My Car. Nice. It's a little silly, but I like it better than Taxman. You?
Yeah. Well, I want to give it to Drive My Car because it's got the piano on it, which I don't think there's one song in Revolver that has piano, but Drive My Car has pretty prominent piano part. George Martin played that. Hate the Beat 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 Yaz. Actually played both of these in bands. Currently my band is playing Taxman. And for that just edges it over. I'm going to give it to Taxman.
Are you the Tax? You're not the Taxman.
No, I sing it though, so I guess I portray the Taxman, or maybe I portray the person upset with the Taxman.
You portray the guy who doesn't like our money going towards roads and other municipalities that are needed. Not municipal, whatever, public services. All right, what is next on Rubber Soul? We'll start it off there.
All right, so we got the classic Norwegian Wood, and that goes up against another classic, Jacob.
It's Eleanor Rigby.
No.
Which I think might be one of the best songs ever written. So I'm leaning towards Eleanor Rigby. I like Norwegian Wood. This is that one of the breakup songs? I don't know my Beatles history all that well. Norwegian Wood's so good, but it's not Eleanor Rigby. So I'm going to stick with my guns. All the Lonely People, one of the saddest songs you can think of. How about you, Matt?
Yeah, what a game changer. And actually, so is Norwegian Wood. Yeah, Eleanor Rigby, big game changer because it introduced like a chamber orchestra, so it made pop music more respectable, I think, to a lot of musicians. And it tells a story of two people, which is really unique. And instead of just singing about love, Norwegian Wood, though, introduces Indian instruments to pop music. It's the first time a sitar is ever used in a rock or pop song. So it's a classic Paul versus John competition here. And right now I'm going to get to Norwegian Wood, but can't deny Eleanor Rigby. And I think maybe Norwegian Wood because I think just because the feel of that song is so much different than anything that had come up to this point. I mean, you could say the same. This is a stupid thing to be doing right now, right?
Tough. And like Norwegian Wood, I'm less sick of. I'll say that.
Maybe.
But Eleanor, I mean, I'm not going to deny it. Are you more an Eleanor or a Father Mackenzie person if you had to pick?
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm more of a Father Mackenzie person.
Yeah, I find that very sad. He's no one's listening to him. He's still doing his job, though. She's dead. We all die.
Exactly.
He's still lonely. Okay.
And the lyric was originally Father McCartney, but George Martin didn't think that had a very good pentameter with the rhythm of the song. So instead of Father McCartney, it was Father Mackenzie.
Well, if you like the weird Beatles, we're getting into some of those too. I'm Only Sleeping is the track on Revolver. What
Right.
is it up against?
Yeah, not such a weird song, but a breakup song Paul wrote for his difficulties with his girlfriend at the time, Jane Asher. It's "You Won't See Me," a song I really quite liked
Yeah, I
too.
like that too. And I also like Fall of the House of or no, Mask of the Red Death, which he's in one of those Corman Poe ones. It doesn't matter. Um, it's Halloween time when we're recording this, so it's on the noggin. I am gonna go with Rubber Soul there. I do like You Won't See Me. And I'm typically more of a John than a Paul guy, but that
Yeah,
song.
boy, this is tough. I think I would go "You Won't See Me" most of the time, but for whatever reason, right now I'm feeling "I'm Only Sleeping." You got the backwards looped guitars going on, then you got that cool little time signature change in the middle. That "Get along from the world going by my window."
That's a good part. That
I
is a
love
good
that
part.
bridge. So I'm going to go with Revolver. Surprising to me, even.
Okay. Oh, this is a song I was trying to think of much earlier, not when we were just recording. Love You Too, George Harrison. Ba-da boom 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 ba boom. I don't know the words. It's Love You Too.
Hmm. Yeah, kind of his first of three like completely Indian-inspired songs. Obviously, he plays the sitar in Norwegian Wood, but that's pretty much a straightforward acoustic number. It's going up against Nowhere Man, and so for me, I'll leave this one off. This is not even a competition.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Nowhere Man is a classic. Love You Too is boring. I skip it. I never listen to it.
whoa. Yep, me too. Rubber Soul. Whoo, whoo. This might be another tough one. I don't know what's up against on Rubber Soul. On Revolver, it's Here, There, and Everywhere. You're a Beach Boys guy. You like harmonies. What's it up against Rubber Soul here?
George song, very fuzzed out song called "Think for Yourself." A song I used to hate, but I've kind of started to like it more and more over the years.
Yeah,
Whereas Here,
it's
There,
not
and
a
Everywhere,
competition. Yeah, yeah. For me,
yeah, no, it's not. I shouldn't waste the audience's time or your time. I'm going to go with Here, There, and Everywhere as well. But for whatever reason, the production on Paul's voice on that song just kind of sounds thin or something like that.
I was listening to it the last couple days, and I'm like, I know it's Paul singing. It sounds like it could be like I don't think George can hit those notes because it's not as good as a typical Paul vocal or a John vocal. But I do like the harmonies for
Yes.
the back, so that's why I figured it was an easy one.
Yeah.
What's next on Rubber Soul, actually?
Alrighty. We got The Word. The Word.
It's up against Yellow Submarine. That's why I was like, oh, I really don't know where I'm going here because the word's kind of a goofy. It's a song about love. Imagine that. And Yellow Submarine is again a song you love as a kid, one of your favorites, probably as a Beatles fan. However, yeah, I get sick of the sound effects as a grown man. Oh, and it's a Ringo vocal. So I'm going to go with Rubber Soul on this one against Yellow Submarine.
I don't blame
Uh,
you. I don't like Yellow Submarine either. And as an elementary music teacher, I do teach the song, believe it or not. Kids just eat it up. And I get a little enjoyment out of that because it's like the gateway to getting
it's a
kids.
gateway draw. Yeah. I
I
don't
don't like
hate it. I don't. What?
I don't like the word though, man. I just don't care for that song. It's so cheesy. It's that stupid chorus. Have you heard the word is love? It's so fine. It's sunshine. It's the word love.
Yeah.
Ah,
Oh, yeah. You're
ah.
making me feel bad about this.
I'm going Yellow Submarine as much as I'm
Yeah.
way sick of that song. I never liked the
Oh. Whew. Ooh. I do
closing
like the
out
next round.
side one.
Oh, yes, this is the last track. Yeah, you just read them both off.
Yeah, we got on Rubber Soul, we've got Michelle. So we got a Paul song versus She Said, She Said, like a psychedelic John song.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, I'm gonna go with this is one where if it's a John versus Paul thing, I'm gonna go with John. Because Michelle, a pretty song, kind of goofy though. And this is more John tendencies that I like, not the John tendencies I don't. So yeah, she said, better song to me. And you're nodding in agreement?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I do like Michel. I know a lot of people accuse it of being like schmaltzy, cheesy, but I think it's a pretty song. And I think he sings it really well, even though his French pronunciations are pretty poor. But she said is just, I mean, that guitar tone, and she's making me feel like I never belong. And then that bridge, she said, you don't, the harmonies and the tambourine going, man, I just absolutely freaking love that song. It's a top 25 Beatles song from my top 25 list.
Okay, great. I've never done that to myself. So quick count, and I hope I'm right. I'm always worried I'm screwing this up. I have Rubber Soul 4-3, and you have Revolver 5-2.
That's right.
After saying Rubber Soul was your favorite, so
I know. I think side two is going to be a different story.
Right. Let's get to it. Side 2 on Revolver is Good Day Sunshine, an easy song to hate upon, but I couldn't write it. That's all I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Was Rubber Soul.
It's going up against What Goes On, an easy song to hate on too. It's the Ringo vocal. Actually, co-writing credits on this. I just realized this.
Oh, good job.
It's credited to Lennon, McCartney, and Starkey.
Oh. Good Day Sunshine, I'm so sick of. It's probably a better song. I'm going to go with Good Day Sunshine.
Yeah, me too. I'm not a big fan of it either. I think
but it's a McCartney song versus a Ringo song, so.
Right. Exactly. Yep, I'm giving it to Revolver, but I'm not a big fan of that song either. I know some people really like it.
I think I'm just sick of it. It's fine. I wish I could hear it for the first time again. That's the typical refrain I have. All right, what's the next track on Rubber Soul?
All right, it's Girl, John tune.
Revolver's And Your Bird Can Sing. A song I think I downplayed how good that was when we talked about it. We talked about it, yeah.
Yep, it was on Yesterday and Today.
Yeah, that's why. I was like, wait, we haven't talked about Revolver. Because I heard it again. I'm like, damn, that is a good song. Against Girl, though?
No. John versus John.
You know, since I feel bad, I'm going to go with And Your Bird Can Sing. After saying, like, yeah. That's not a good reason, but it's so close for me.
I think a lot of people would agree with you. I know people really dig And Your Bird Can Sing and like how influential that was. I don't know. There's something about it that I've never really connected with it. Does that make sense? Like, it's not that I dislike it. There's just something about it. I think there's some cool guitar, like twin leads going on, which of course inspired bands like Thin Lizzy and Judas Priest and some of those bands. They consider that very influential in terms of like the development of heavy metal, even with the twin leads. But Girl, I think there's just something special about John's vocals. Is there anybody going to listen to my... And then that bridge, she's the kind of girl that puts you... While they're going tit, 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 tit in the background. I love it.
That is it is. I mean, this is tough. I'm not going to say it was the toughest call we've made so far. It's up there though.
Yeah. Alrighty.
For No One.
Yeah. Oof. That's a hell of a song, huh?
Yeah.
For No One. Damn. That's going up against I'm Looking Through You. Kind of a Paul standard as well. Both Pauls, Paul versus Paul. I'll kick this one off if you don't mind.
Yeah, please do.
My favorite song off of Revolver, For No One.
Yeah. I think it's up there with Eleanor Rigby as far as downers go. Is this a breakup? But Rubber Soul was the breakup song, so this is probably just him. Yeah.
I'm looking through you with the breakup song, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking through, but it's upbeat, it's up tempo. It's not a downer like Eleanor Rigby or No One though has that amazing middle section, which sounds like a harpsichord, but it was actually George Martin playing that on piano. That da 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 da. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of In My Life. Sorry, it's got that great trumpet solo, flugelhorn solo. Then it goes right back into the bridge. And in her eyes you see nothing, no sign of love behind the tears. Yeah, I was singing the In My Life introduction. That's coming up next. So For No One.
I love For No One. What was again the Rubber Soul track? Just
I'm
before I.
looking through you.
Oh, I like that song a lot too. But yeah, For No One. It's a love that should have lasted years. I mean, it's sad. It's just a sad song. So that's both Revolver for us. A track I don't really care for on Revolver, Dr. Robert. One of the gimmicky tracks. It's leading like into Sgt. Pepper territory, which we haven't gotten to yet. Rubber Soul, it is against In My Life, you said?
I jumped the gun on the instrumental there. But
yeah,
yes,
but it's an easy
saw it
call
in my
for me. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, easy call. And I saw it in my periphery, and I think that put that in my brain. But yeah, In My Life, a mile.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So the next song on Rubber Soul is Wait. So that's track 5 off of side 2. What's track 5 on Revolver?
I want to tell you.
I feel hung up and I don't know why.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It starts off with like a crescendo. I want to tell you. Yeah, it's an all right song.
It's a very 60s song. It sounds like Tom Jones could sing it. He probably did cover it, or someone did.
It's not unusual to want to tell you.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking. And what was Rubber Soul again? Sorry, I got distracted.
Wait, really kind of a haunting song. It's been a long time.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going with Wait. For
Rubber Soul for me as well.
Cool.
Getting into the end game. Paul McCartney on Revolver. Got to Get You Into My Life.
Yep.
Again, when I'm thinking like 60s tracks, I'm sure I've heard this covered by like Sonny and Cher or something. It's just... What's it on Rubber Soul?
It's going up against the Yesterday Slayer, If I Needed Someone. George song. If I needed someone to love.
It's a good song too.
Song.
And I think I'm going to go with that one, actually, over Got to Get You Into My Life. I know there's a lot more going in to Got to Get You Into My Life, and I think that's why you're going to go with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to go with that. Got to Get You Into My Life is a special song. And the cover, actually, that's probably most famous is the Earth, Wind, and Fire one.
That's probably what I'm thinking of, yeah. Yeah.
Kind of groove, funky groove to it.
Yeah. All right. Depends on how experimental you want to get. Tomorrow Never Knows closes Revolver. What closes Rubber Soul?
Run for Your Life.
Song I've talked about how I don't care about, don't care for too much. Yeah, Tomorrow Never Knows for me.
Yep.
Don't like the threatening nature. It's a good song. It's a fine song. I don't mean to downplay it. Tomorrow Never Knows, though, is that crazy Lennon we like to talk about. For me, it's a tie. 7-7. You gave the edge, I believe, to Revolver, though. 6-8. Your favorite record goes down in the track. That doesn't mean anything. Just means what it was against in the track listing. That who knows who decided upon that anyway. That was painful. I feel drained. I feel bad. I feel spent.
I'm feeling verklempt.
Yeah. Let's never do that again.
No.
But we're gonna have to do something. What's coming next is gonna hurt even more. Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see. You'll have to find out in a few days when we post that episode. I'm gonna do the windsock again.